So let me ask you this question, and this is I'm just going to throw this out there, right? This is just a what if, right? Let's say Jalen Hurts wasn't on this team, or Jalen Hurts wasn't playing, right? And Minshew was a starting quarterback with this roster. What would you think the Eagles' ceiling would be with Minshew as the starter instead of Hurts?
Get ready for a shakedown. Prepare for a shakedown. From Philly where they clap like huddles when they break down.
Here you go. The Eagles could do big things, but we have a trash quarterback on the team, not going to do only so much. Listen, I don't understand how people can say this guy's complete trash. Like, he did take us to the playoffs. Okay, and if you want to say, well, he beat teams with bad records, well, he still beat the teams he was supposed to beat. No, I don't think we know if he's a trash quarterback. I don't think he's a trash quarterback. I think that people are judging him a little too quickly.
Well, you got to think of it like this, too. Like, it's not like he's had 2 full seasons. He's only played a year and a half of football. He was thrown in the fire in 2020 for 4 to 5 games, and he became the starter in 21. And this was coming off of virtual workouts and not being with the guys in the off season. Like, it was a totally different world out there. I think we all know that by this time, okay?
Right.
You know, they didn't have that camaraderie. Like, they came into camp. They didn't have much time together, and you know what I mean? Like, I think another full year. I'm not going to say, look, I've been in the middle between Jalen Hurts. My gut feeling says he's going to have a good year. But, you know, there are flaws. And at the end of 2021, I thought he had flaws. I thought he got better, but the flaws were still there. So I think it's going to be a good year.
Yeah, I think we don't know. I mean, legitimately got us to the playoffs last year. So, and here's the thing. If Jalen Hurts doesn't work out and he's struggling, I don't think it's a remote, like, I don't think it's a far-fetched idea to say that they put Minshew in. I don't think if you get to week 8, week 9, and Jalen Hurts is struggling, I think that they'll pull him. I really do. I think it's possible.
It is possible.
You know? Frank, he says, hey, guys, great to be here on Saturday. Thank you, man.
Thanks, Frank.
Great to have you. You know, I honestly do. I don't think that he's got such a lot of weight, you know, a lot of room to just go out and be bad every week. They put a lot of talent around him. So Gardner Minshew, and we talked about him, like, I think if Hurts struggles week 8, week 9, I could see a situation where they put Minshew in, right? I could totally see it. But there's also a possibility, or at least rumors came out this week, that the Eagles could look to trade him. Cowboys, a lot of Cowboy fans felt that Cowboys should pursue him. What are your thoughts on the Eagles? 1, trading Gardner Minshew. 2, trading him to the Cowboys.
When it comes to Minshew, I think there was a lot of rumors even last year, even before the trade deadline with the Panthers, and this is before they got a couple of quarterbacks, but, you know, trading a 2nd, 3rd round pick. I think he just has a lot of, this guy's not only cheap, you know, he's all over $900,000 for the year, going into this year, but I think there's going to be an opportunity to look, I don't know if Carson Strong is going to be the guy. Like, I think that they want to, you know, try to teach him and kind of be a better pocket guy or whatever they want to do. And with the injuries and stuff, his past injury history. But I think you can actually make a trade for Minshew by the trade deadline. I feel like if somebody goes down and there's a team with desperation, I think they will pull the trigger, right? Because they're not going to have him after this year. So if you're not going to have him after this year, you might as well trade him. Now, to the Cowboys, I really don't know what to say about it. I mean, it could be they're paying a quarterback a lot of money right now, and I don't think they're moving on from anytime soon. If you're trading with a rival team, you can't take less. You got to take more, a lot more. You know what I mean? So I don't know what that trade would look like, but I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure why.
I just think the Cowboys, I didn't mean to cut you off, I just think the Cowboy fans can't accept reality. Like, I don't think they can accept reality that the Eagles are better on paper than them. And like, now it's gotten so bad that they want our backup quarterbacks. Like, they really think that we're going to give them, why would we give them our backup when we're better than them? We're going to go further than them. So I totally don't understand why the Eagles would do that. Like you said, $900,000 for this guy for 1 year, okay? Now, I think the plan with Carson Strong is that he learns as a 3rd quarterback. Next year, he's the backup to Jalen Hurts. Now you got your starter and you have your backup. Minshew will then hit free agency. You also heard things come out that he's not a good locker room guy. Did you hear this?
Yeah.
About what are your thoughts on that? Like he's not good. Like, where did this come from?
I don't think it's so much. I think the only time where I can think maybe it's a problem, maybe he's discussed in the locker room that he's not happy there or he wants to be a starter. Because I think after that Jets win, he got the juices flowing again. He got that win. He said to him, kind of like how Nick Foles left. He won a Super Bowl and he got to the playoffs in 2018. Was like, I could do this. I can go to another team. He paid his way back in the free agency, and there he was as the Jaguars quarterback for not even a game. But I feel like I don't feel like I think it's just attention to get hits on some articles, but I don't think it's anything serious though.
Well, and the thing is you never heard anything about him being a bad locker room guy, and he went out and he played and he went up to Nick Sirianni. He said, "Hey, coach, what would it take for me to start? I want to start." And he said, "You're not going to start or whatever." I don't have any problem with that. I want a guy to be competitive. No, what a bad thing that Gardner Minshew did that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't get it.
Yeah, he's just taking advantage of the situation because they know that Jalen Hurts they're still grooming him and they're still trying to, he's still learning. So, Minshew, that's why I said the same thing with Joe Flacco coming here. He took advantage of he could have went to another team as a backup, but he came to this team because he's taking advantage of the situation of a young quarterback coming in. And this is my, and I could say Minshew is more of a vet now. Definitely. He's had some success in the league. So I feel like he's just taking advantage of the situation. I can't blame him for that. He's not trying to screw Jalen Hurts over. I just think it's just, like I can come in, I can play, and he can win us football games, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
So let me ask you this question, and this is I'm just going to throw this out there, right? This is just a what if, right? Let's say Jalen Hurts wasn't on this team, or Jalen Hurts wasn't playing, right? And Minshew was a starting quarterback with this roster. What would you think the Eagles' ceiling would be with Minshew as the starter instead of Hurts?
I'd say maybe a division win if it's weak enough, and that's really it. I don't know if he can get past the playoff game. I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen enough. 2020 with a really bad Jags offense, I think he did really well, and he wanted to be the starter, and this was before they drafted Trevor Lawrence, and he went up to the front office and was like, I want to be the guy, and they didn't agree with him, and then coming in to win a game against the Jets, it was a good feeling for him, but I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's gonna. I don't think he'd get as far as everyone thinks he's going to just because of his arm. I think there's a lot more to him. Like once teams start, to get this blueprint on Minshew and they know how to defend him, and we start losing games because of it, and we were really bad in the second half of a lot of games. I mean, in the first half of a lot of games, the adjustments were a huge problem, and that's on Nick Sirianni at the end of the day. So, I think the vision and maybe getting to a playoff win, maybe, but I don't know. He has to play more games. He has to play a lot more games.
I see Minshew. I don't see Minshew as a franchise quarterback. I think, and some people don't agree, I see Minshew as a very, very good, if not one of the better backup quarterbacks in the National Football League. I will say this, though. If Minshew was the starter, and let's say Hurts wasn't on this team, I think they could win the division and win a home playoff game. Okay. And that's exactly what I expect from Hurts this year. It's just that I think Hurts has a higher ceiling in the long run. And that's the difference. I think Hurts' ceiling is much higher,
Yeah, I get it.
But I at the end of the day, Minshew's got to stay. You gotta let him be the backup, and then you get Strong ready to be the backup going forward. That's how I see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mike, I want to get to this real quick. Mike says, keeping Minshew is important, very high quality backup, and we all know the valuable that can be. Yeah, right? Absolutely. I totally agree with you.
If we trade for this guy, what's going to happen? He's not convicted of anything, so, he's not convicted, so...
Did you hear the last story?
No, I didn't.
Did you hear the last story? It's like his towel falls off and he's all ready to go, and she's don't want any part of it, so he just gets up and does it himself. And he's like, "Oh, don't mind me. What do you want?"
Here's a quote you can sing back.
That's the
Swallow
thing.
up
Like,
and don't be a dingbat. It's a shakedown.
don't you frown.
Shakedown.
Here comes Philly shakedown.
Let's go.